lovely friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sari Steam. Today I'm going to be doing a look inspired by the new Nintendo Switch game Blue Fire, which I've been enjoying so much. I bought it on release day, and I have to say I think it's my favorite game since Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's just so good. It has that same type of Zelda platforming, questing, and it also has 3D platforming where you're using different skills to get between obstacles, as well as the storyline and the questing, and it's so good. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my Glam Duochrome liner. This is in the shade Supernova. So I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush. This is just the Glam brush. It's the GV12. So I have a little cup of water here, and I'm just going to dip right in and start mixing it. These are so great. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of a graphic liner today. One is looking a little bit more purple. It looked more blue before I added the water. So I'm going to start by just priming my eye. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden. And I'm going to go really light on this since I'm mostly doing a graphic liner. Just want it to have a little bit of a base to hold on to. And then I'm just going to dip my brush right into the liner that I mixed up, and I'm going to go a little bit above the curve of my eye and do a little bit of a graphic liner over my eye. So hopefully you can see. I really love these Duochrome liners from Glam. I've just really enjoyed working with them. And I do want this to be pretty thick. Okay, so I'm going to start with it like that, and then where I stopped, I'm going to attempt to draw a tiny star. Like that, and then I'm just going to bring it out in a light wing. Like that. And I'm just going to thicken it up and adjust my lines a little bit. And I add a little bit more water to my liner. It's just drying up a little bit more. So I'm gonna give that just a couple moments to dry. Excuse me. I'm gonna give that just a few moments to dry. Try not to blink too much so that I avoid any type of transfer with my hooded lids. And then I'm going to do the same on the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. You can see I caught up the other eye, and I also just enclosed the wing on this one. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. And the very last thing I'm going to do is just take a tiny bit more of it and just go on the outer corner of my lash line like a normal liner, just to connect it. And I think that is where I'm going to leave the Duochrome liner. Hopefully you can see the shift in that kind of as I move. So I'm just going to clean off my brush. I'll just clean that off by dipping it in the water and then wiping it. It comes right off. Like I said, these are the best. They're so much fun. And I think what I want to do to go with this is just pat a little bit of a light blue shimmer on my lid. And for that, I'm going to break into my Nomad Fire and Ice palette. And I'm going to go into the shade River Glacier. And I'm going to go in with just a teeny tiny little brush. I'm going to use my Morphe M508. And I'm not going to use any glitter primer because I don't want the shimmer to take away from the graphic liner that we just did. So I'm just going to dip in just a little bit, no glitter primer. I'm going to knock off my excess, and I'm just going to very carefully place this right under the liner. I might fill in the stars with the liner. I haven't quite decided yet. So I think from there, I might go into a little bit of a darker color. Here in this outer part. I think I'm going to use that same palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Valkyries, which is a very pretty duochrome, but I'm actually going to swatch it first and just see, because I don't want it to go too purple. And I think that really actually does. So maybe I'll use God's Waterfall instead. Yeah. So actually, instead of the Valkyries, because that is just a little more purple, I'm going to go into the shade God's Waterfalls. And I'm just going to do the rest of the inside of my wing with that, just using that same brush. And again, I'm going to tap it off because I don't want it to be too intense with that liner. then I'm just gonna pull it over that first shade, the River Glacier shade, just to get that blend in between those two colors. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up the other eye and then I'll be right back. Alright, I got the other eye caught up, so I'm gonna hurry through this last bit because my camera battery is dying. I'm going to go back into the Nomad Fire and Ice, and I'm gonna go into Dark Castles, and I'm going to smudge that on my lower lash line. I'm gonna use that same Morphe M508 smudge brush that I was using for the shimmers. I just cleaned it off. I'm gonna tap off the excess, and I'm gonna go right in. And I want to really smoke out this lower lash line. So I'm gonna go pretty heavy with that. I do have quite a bit of fallout from a few different colors on my face, but that's okay, I haven't done my base yet, so it's not a problem. Okay, like that. Alright friends, welcome back. Here's our final look. That was inspired by the Blue Fire game using the Glam Duochrome liner in Supernova and the Nomad Fire and Ice palette. I'm really happy with how this came out. I think the little stars that we did with the graphic liner really pull in the little Blue Fire warrior. He is so cute. I just love him. And I just wanted to talk about the game a little bit too. So with this, I've been so impressed with it. It is just so cute. Your main protagonist is this little warrior who is in kind of an apocalyptic world, and it does have a little bit of the feeling of a Zelda spin-off, but it also very definitely has its own unique feel as you're doing a lot of 3D platforming and using a lot of different skills to move through the world. And the world itself is so beautifully rendered. If you haven't checked out that game, I absolutely suggest it. I'll try to put a clip of me playing here in the corner. So beyond that, I would say go ahead and go get that game, give it a play, especially for the weekend. It's a good gift for Valentine's Day, even if it's just for yourself. Beyond that, I hope you liked the look today. Let me know down in the comments field what you think of either the look or the game or these products. I'm still really loving the Nomad Fire and Ice palette, as well as those Glam Duochrome liners. I just want to collect all of them. They're so good. So beyond that, I hope you get the game. I hope you stay safe and have a wonderful day.